Hi guys, so in this video I'm going to be sharing some really powerful Google Ads retargeting strategies that I use for some of my e-commerce clients to generate them an additional 25 and even 35% more revenue month on month from their Google Ad campaigns. So this video is going to cover 3 areas, and those are specifically display, YouTube and search ad campaigns, to show you how you can use these super high intent retargeting audiences to generate more revenue from your e-commerce store. Now, before we get into the campaigns themselves, there are a few things you'll need to have in place. Now, the most important thing that you'll need to set up is your Google Ads conversion tag and your remarketing tag. Now, the reason you need these set up is pretty obvious. This is going to allow you to, 1, track purchases from your campaigns, but also track website visitors, which you'll need for the actual retargeting audiences themselves. The next thing that you're going to need to make sure you have set up is your add to cart audiences and your initiate checkout audiences. The reason is we want to test our add to carts and our initiate checkout audiences across all of our retargeting campaigns. That way we can figure out which of these is the most profitable. Now, the first retargeting strategy we're going to cover is dynamic display remarketing. Now, this allows you to retarget people via display ads. However, you can retarget someone specifically with the exact product they were looking at on your e-commerce store. And as you could imagine, this makes your ad far more relevant because the targeting and the ad itself is way more granular. We're able to target someone with the exact product that they were just looking at. So let's just say you're a luxury clothing brand, right? You can target someone with the exact piece of clothing that they were just looking at on your e-commerce store, which means they're more likely to purchase, right? Because the ad is more granular, it's far less generic. So the way how you set this up is very much similar to any other ad campaign. Now, what you want to do is go to the settings level and click on dynamic ads. This section will create a drop-down and it will allow you to actually select your product data feed from your Google Merchant Center, right? Now, what I want you to do is plug in your data feed into this section here, and it will now allow you to run your products within the display ads themselves, right? So you can now retarget people based on the product feed. What we're going to do next is go over to the audience section, and we're going to actually create 3 different ad groups for this. So the first ad group, the audience you're going to test, is just all visitors. So it's just generic, everyone who's been on the website but hasn't purchased. You want to make sure you exclude your purchasers. The second is going to be anyone who's added to cart. And the third is going to be anyone who's initiated checkout. And again, make sure you're excluding anyone who's purchased, because we are trying to go after people who have been on the website but have not purchased yet. We're not worried about anyone who has purchased. Now, the way you can take your dynamic display remarketing campaigns to the next level is by filtering the products in your product feed that you're going to use for your retargeting campaign. It's perfectly fine if you want to use all products, but what you might find is there's a few high margin or super high converting products in your Shopify, in your e-commerce store. And by filtering these out and just prioritizing these in your dynamic display campaign is going to give you a better chance of 1, driving a purchase, but 2, driving a much higher ROAS from this particular campaign. So I would highly suggest you check it out. It's super, super powerful. Now, the second campaign we're going to cover is YouTube retargeting ads. Now, you've probably heard about YouTube retargeting, you've probably done it already, but the way you can take this to the next level is through YouTube Shorts retargeting. We've been testing it across a lot of clients, and we found the conversion rates on YouTube Shorts is far superior to regular YouTube ads on the normal feed. Now, this is a bit of a tricky campaign. Google Ads doesn't have a specific option to run just YouTube short ad campaigns. However, there is a workaround to this. Now, when you're setting up a regular YouTube ad campaign, at the settings level, you can go down to devices, and I want you to untick desktop, tablet, even TV. So the only option left is mobile devices. Now, what this will mean is that when you upload a YouTube short creative, it can only run as a YouTube short, and therefore you have a YouTube short campaign. And this is the best option at the moment for running specifically YouTube short ads. Now, again, you want to make sure you're plugging in your retargeting audiences. I want you to test 3 different ad groups, all visitors, add to carts, and initiate checkouts. But with YouTube short ads, the creative is super important, right? You want to be running specific ads that are UGC focused, so user generated content, and you want to be applying some sort of discount within the creative itself, right? You want to be giving someone enough reason to click on the ad and onto your e-commerce store and purchase. Something around 10 to 15% we found is the sweet spot. It works really, really well. And I would also recommend running this on your highest converting products. You don't need to run a generic retargeting campaign. You can focus this on the best products that drive the best margins, and that way you're going to get more out of your ad spend and generate the most revenue as well. Okay, so the third and final campaign we're going to cover in our retargeting strategy is a search ad combined with our RLSAs. Now, RLSAs stand for Remarketing List Search Ads. What this allows us to do is actually target keywords of people who have also been on our website. So for example, if we're bidding on the keyword king size beds, we can specifically target someone who is searching for that keyword, but has also been on your e-commerce store, has also been on your website. Now, the power of this is that we can specifically target people who are going to be super, super high intent, because we know if they've been on your website, but they haven't purchased, but they're Googling keywords that are related to your brand, they are related to your e-commerce store, they are going to be very, very high intent. So what I want you to do is test out your RLSAs in a separate search campaign with a separate ad group. You can start this as an observation, and what I want you to do is just monitor the performance of how people within those specific keyword audiences respond to your website visitors. If it makes sense, if you are getting lower CPAs, better conversion rates, better ROAS, I want you to actually switch this to targeting. And that way, Google will only show your ad if someone has been on your website and they are Googling very specific keywords. The two of these combined are super powerful when you get it right. Because like I said, you can capture super high intent searches on Google combined with people who are already familiar with your brand, and showing someone an ad in this particular context converts really, really well. The way you can take this to the next level is by, of course, adjusting your ad copy. We don't want to be using standard ads in this type of campaign because it's a hybrid campaign. We want to be calling people out. You want to be using your discounts. You want to be saying, hey, forgot about us, or hey, don't forget, or we're still waiting for you. Or in the copy itself, you really want to be using strong call to actions or call to outcomes. So again, if you're, let's just say, take the example, you're selling luxury beds, you want to say sleep in comfort, get a great night's sleep. Don't forget to have a great night's sleep. You really want to be speaking to that audience directly and incentivizing them with discounts, CTAs to click through and purchase. Okay, guys, I hope that was helpful. Now, if you are a e-commerce store owner spending more than $20,000 a month on your Google Ads account, feel free to book a time below using the link in the description for a free Google Ads audit, and I will personally audit your Google Ads account to show you how you can get more revenue and a better performance from your Google Ad campaigns. Thank you very much, and I'll see you on the next video.